Today we're talking getting ready for the electrical rough all inspection. I'm Dave Edwards with Earthbound Homes.
And I'm Patrick Dugan.
Let's take it away. The rough all inspection includes electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and structural. And today we're talking about getting ready for the electrical rough all inspection with Pat Dugan, the project manager for the Venkatesh project. So Pat, tell me a little bit about what the inspector is going to be looking for when they come and look at this project.
So we're here in front of a couple sub panels. Now, what they're going to be looking at, this doesn't necessarily have to be fully completed with the circuit breakers and everything, but they're going to come in here, they're going to look at organization, how all the wires are nailed, make sure that inside the panel we have everything labeled. They're going to look at how neat it is, nail plates, all of these details.
So the nail plates are to protect somebody from putting a screw or a nail through here and hitting the wire.
That's correct.
Right, okay.
Yep. So it's just really important to make sure that everything is clean, tight, looks well.
So this is what happens before they get it ready kind of for the inspection, and it's this kind of chaos of all of these wires.
That's right. So they have all of their home runs coming to the panel. As you can see, this one is still just kind of they're working on this one, and then it'll get to this phase. After this phase, then they'll land all their hots and neutrals to the proper locations, and that could actually be held off until final. Or if they want, they can come earlier once those circuits are in, do torque testing on all of the circuits.
What's torque testing?
So right here on our bars here, you have all of these little nuts, and what they do is they tighten to a certain torque specification of how tight it is. They watch and they click it and make sure that everything's tight. It keeps things from being loose and arcing and creating possible fire hazard.
Got it, okay. And so when we don't need all the circuit breakers in here because none of this is live. We don't have electrical coming into these boxes right now. And we really won't have it until when?
Till we get our service entrance finalized through our engineering, through our utilities.
Okay, so that means the service entrance is actual main power line coming to the main meter of the house.
That's correct.
Okay, and that comes in, and then is it live?
Well, that'll be landed in that panel, and until you make the connections, it still won't be distributed throughout to the sub panels.
Okay, so all of this is safe to touch and do whatever you need to do.
You'd never want to be doing anything like this if there was live. So.
Got it. Okay. So is there anything else that the inspector is going to be looking for in these inspections?
Yeah, what they'll also be looking for is throughout the house at the switch locations and receptacles, they're going to make sure that we have everything made up. If there's multiple wires, that they have wire nuts, and then just the final connections to each switch or receptacle is ready for that connection.
So Pat, I see on a lot of our older projects that have electrical systems and things that are done in outlet boxes that are actually not allowed by code. And one of the most common is where you have an outlet that's really being serviced as a way to join wires or join outlets. So you have a wire coming in to one outlet, and then another wire comes out of that same outlet and goes to another set of outlets. And they're using that to essentially as a wire nut instead. And I know that in the current code, we have to do what are called pigtails. So what is a pigtail?
A pigtail is basically where you have two wires coming in, and inside that junction box or receptacle box is you have a wire nut that is twisted with those two wires, and then
two or more wires.
Two or more wires, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then what you have is the critical supply going just to that receptacle. So that way you're not daisy chaining from a receptacle to the next receptacle. It's just a safer way, less chance of fire.
Okay, and the reason is that really the outlet or the receptacle is not intended to have current running through it to another outlet, because you can overload that outlet with all the currents of multiple outlets, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So if you're interested in learning more about building science or electrical preparation, please hit subscribe as we show you how to build a better way.